Dear students, today's video is on IELTS writing, on essays. Every Saturday I make videos on essays. To see the essays that I did earlier, you can visit my channel Excellence the Ideal Class or my Facebook or Instagram page with the same name. And in case you want to see a video with a detailed explanation of essays, it is video number 24. In IELTS, we write our essays in 40 minutes, in 250 to 270 words, and in 4 to 6 paragraphs. In the first paragraph, we always write the introduction. In the middle paragraphs, the main ideas, then conclusion. Let us see the question that we have got for today. In some countries, young people do not look after their elderly relatives on their own and appoint trained professionals. Is this a positive or a negative trend? Here the question is asking us to give our opinion that when young people do not look after their old parents or other old family members and get this work done by trained professionals, is it a positive or a negative trend? Whenever you get an essay of this type, you should always decide your opinion. Like my opinion is, it is a negative trend and should be done in only two situations. Now let us see the introduction I have written. Young people in some nations are hiring professional caretakers for their old relatives instead of looking after them on their own. This is the background statement that introduces the topic, which in my opinion is not a good trend and should be done in only two situations. This is the thesis statement that has my opinion. We always have to state our opinion very clearly. The word hire means to employ somebody instead of means in place of. Now you can take some time to read this introduction, see what I have written and how I have written it. In introduction there should be two statements: background statement that introduces the topic, thesis statement that introduces your opinion. After this, in the following paragraph, I have written the reasons why I think it is a negative trend. The trend is a negative one, as old people are devoid of the family care and support they need in this age and may feel lonely and unwanted, which can affect their health and well-being. Secondly, such people set a very wrong example for their children that looking after the old is not the responsibility of the young. All this can sometimes affect family relations as family values get affected. Thirdly, no matter how good a professional is, an outsider can never be a substitute for family. The word well-being means general health and happiness. Now you can take some time to read this paragraph. Pay attention to two things. First, what I have written, the ideas. Like the first point that I have put is that it is a negative trend because it has a negative impact on the well-being of the old people. Secondly, such societies are teaching a wrong thing to the children, that when people become old, there is no need to look after them. And thirdly, outsiders cannot be a substitute for family. Many a times there are reports of mistreatment of old people by their caretakers. And after that, pay attention to how I have written it, the language, and try to learn it as well. Especially see whenever I start a new point, there is a new connector. There is a lot of planning and thinking that goes into IELTS writing, so that whatever you write, the ideas and the way you write it, the language, there is lot of sense and connectivity in it. In place of devoid of, you can also write deprive of. This word has the same meaning. Now, moving to the next paragraph. However, in some situations, it can be very helpful to have a trained caretaker, like when people have a specific medical condition and need special care, especially an expert to handle an emergency situation. Apart from this, some young people have such hectic work life that despite their best efforts, they cannot take out time to look after their old parents or other old family members. Now you can take some time to read this paragraph. pay attention to two things. First, what I have written, the ideas. So, as I mentioned in my thesis statement, it should be done in only two situations. I have mentioned those two situations when people have some specific medical condition and an expert care is needed. And secondly, when people don't have time, even if they want, they cannot take out time to look after their parents or other old family members. Secondly, the way I have written the things, the language, and try to learn it as well. In the last paragraph, I have written the conclusion. In the conclusion, we should never write any new ideas and it should always match our thesis statement. Eventually, taking care of elderly people in their family is the moral duty of the young people which they cannot and should not escape from, taking help of a professional only when there is a genuine need. Genuine need means real need. Now you can take some time to read this paragraph, see what I have written and the way I have written it. Dear students, there is a lot of planning and thinking that is needed for IELTS writing. So that whatever you write your ideas, the way you write them your language, it makes sense and there is connectivity. And in case you want to prepare well for your IELTS exam and improve your language to help you later on as well, you can join my class. I have given my contact number at the beginning. You can also subscribe my channel Excellence the Ideal Class or follow me on my Facebook or Instagram page where you will find a lot of content that will help you in IELTS preparation. There are introduction questions for speaking with answers, cue cards with answers, follow-up questions of the cue cards with answers. For the GT people, there are letters with answers. For academic people, graphs with answers. Then there are essays with answers and content related to vocabulary and grammar as well. And in case you are following the channel, please watch the videos number wise. Then you are going to benefit more rather than watching them randomly. I hope that you find today's video useful and informative. Thank you very much.